Alright everyone, update time. So, that was quite a scenario, wasn't it? Luckily, everything has since been fixed, and let me show you a couple things that have been done. I guess we'll consider this like a mini backyard update kind of thing, but I'm not going to date it or whatever. Alright, so you can see over here in the corner of the driveway, some serious work had to be done. But you notice the pipe's not sticking up anymore because now those two mister heads by the air conditioners are finally reconnected. So there's a pipe that went this way, kind of goes a little bit this way, under the bricks. And then there's a mister head right there by the window, and one towards the front right here. And that pipe was actually easy to put down because that pipe went down sometime in 2018. Yeah, in 2018. So at that point, if you remember, this was still all dirt, just dirt of process. Nothing was here yet. So he was easily able to put the pipe underneath and everything was fine. So I'm glad that got reconnected. Now, after that had happened, you think everything was fine, right? Nope, there was something else that we found out. And I don't know who was at fault for this, but it was just a big hassle. But you know what? Here's a picture right here I took of them putting this pipe back for the mister heads. You can see right there they have a little trench for the pipe and everything, and reconnecting it to the piping over by the corner of the driveway. And that part really went okay, and that was no problem. But then what happened was when we turned the zone back on, the piping that was kind of over here, water had started bubbling up from below the pipe. We're thinking maybe there's a break in the pipe. No, we check underneath the pipe, still nothing. So that's when things start getting confusing. So we're trying to think, all right, what's going on here? Well, some of you guys may remember the driveway was, was extended. And we used to have a thing of mister heads along the side here. And obviously there was another pipe. So what we think happened was, when someone was doing the landscaping, I don't know who it was, and they took out the old sprinkler system that was on the side here because the driveway was going to be expanded. What we found was there's a pipe that goes along here, and there were other pipes going this way. It probably went towards the mister heads. The reason why the main pipe was probably over there was to keep it away from the driveway with the old system. And what he thinks happened was the pipe went along this way, wrapped around by that pink flag where there's another head, and then the pipe came back along this way for the new heads. And when they took the old sprinkler system out here, they didn't cap off or end one of the pipes correctly. So one of the pipes for the old heads was just running underground and full of water. But thankfully that didn't really happen until now because this new system didn't operate until just recently. So that was a big hassle in itself. Trying to find that pipe took a really long time. In fact, here's another picture right here of the work they were doing. You can see they really had to dig pretty far down, pretty far back, just to find where that water was coming from. It took quite a while. Then eventually they found it, took off that pipe fitting, redid the fittings, put it all together. We turned the system back on. Beautiful, no leaks. So that went well. As you can see, it is quite a mess though. But they did put the grass back the best way they could, and this will all just grow back and heal, whatever, so it'll be totally fine. So that part was all taken care of. Let's head over to the front of the house where that sod had shifted and the water bubble happened. Now I will say, I'm not going to run the zones right now, but someone did make a request that I do a tour of the sprinkler system, and I think I'll do that for you guys at some point, because now that it's not really so much warming up. It's going to be unseasonably cold this weekend, but whatever. Now we're in the springtime. All the stuff around here is pretty much done. All the sprinkler heads are working correctly. I can give you a run through. I do plan on rewiring some of the zones, but that'll come a little bit later. Okay, so this is the general area of where the water bubble happened. You can see the sod has since been moved back into place. Again, that'll set itself throughout time, grow back, whatever. Doesn't look anywhere near as messy as it used to. So that'll all come back together. So right here where they did some of the work, you can see, here's the sprinkler head right there. Let me see, where's it on the video? Yeah, right there, you see that? So there's the head. The head wasn't there at all, so water was just coming out of the pipe. So, which, makes sense, because they only saw that one sprinkler head come up a little bit, but then nothing else, because the zone travels this way. So that head was getting pressure, but beyond this, there was no pressure at all, because the pipe was completely broken. So, yeah. So he fixed that pipe, put a new head in, and they're all Hunter heads, thankfully. Redid the sod, and reset the sod where after the water bubble happened and the water went through. That's kind of where it happened. So put all that back together. They'll get cleaned off through rains, whatever, all back. And finally, I'll go ahead and show you the the valve box once again. Okay, we'll open this up once more. Now everything is correct, see? Everything is all wired up, all wired knotted together. We ran the zones, obviously, that same day, and everything ran fine. Every valve opened, all 4 of them, so that really was fantastic, and I'm just glad to see that the zones are working correctly. I think we have some extra wires here, because it looks like these wires aren't used, but that's okay. All these other wires are in place and being used as they should be, so that's good. But yeah, you can really see just how crazy that was. They actually were legit not wired up, and now they finally are, and they're working great. So, happy about that for sure. And everything is all good here as well. That's basically it, guys. They fixed what they had to. Glad they honored the stuff that they had to do, you know what I'm saying? That was just beyond crazy, it really was. But yeah, that's basically it. Sprinkler system is up and running. It ran today, no problems, no leaks. All the valves operated like they should, and everything was good. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.